the market from here, of course, to get back to your musical engagements or things that you source from it is digital.
Hi there, it's Allan here from Linn, Glasgow. I'm delighted to be joined by John Carroll this morning. John's the MD of Renaissance Audio. Renaissance are the UK distributor and importer of Moon electronics by Simaudio. The plan is to talk this morning a little bit of background about Moon and an overview of the new North range. So, John, can you give us a little bit of background to Moon? Who are Moon?
Morning, Alan. Thanks for the introduction. Yes, the Moon brand by Simaudio has existed now for 25 years in the UK. The manufacturing company Simaudio are based in Montreal in Canada. They've been building products since 1980. Under the Moon brand itself, they've actually been manufacturing since 1997. The products are all handmade products built in a universal facility in Montreal where they do a fair amount of detail for a small bespoke hi-fi manufacturer. The North collection that we're going to focus on today is a product that started to come to market a little over a year ago. Launched at the Munich high-end hi-fi show. There are 6 products in the range, and the offerings actually extend to cover different price points and different user requirements. Effectively, the 6 products are split into 3 different system structures.
Okay.
So we, for ease of understanding, we refer to it as 600 series, 700 series and 800 series. And the higher up in the number range you go, the higher up in the performance you go. And with respect to that, also higher up in price. The 600 series is probably the most traditional of hi-fi structure in that it's formed with an integrated amplifier. Pure analog, no digital inputs, no other inputs built in, no phono stage. So a very, very simplistic offering, but not a simplistic amplifier in any shape or form. The partner product for that is the 641 music streamer. Often we'll take a little pause on this just to explain. Some people refer to them as network players. Some people refer to them as music streamers. Some people refer to them as streaming DACs. In essence, they're all doing the same job. They're fetching music, they're bringing it to the product is decoding it, turning it into an analog signal and sending it to the amplifier.
So just going back a level then, so a streamer, how does it operate? It's connected to your router at home?
So the music streamer, and in this case we have 3 of these at the 3 different points. So there's a 600 version, 700 version and an 800 version. These products exist on your home network.
Okay.
They can either connect to your home network using a Ethernet cable, or they can connect to your home network using a Wi-Fi connection.
Okay.
There's no compromise in the music that can be fetched by the unit if you're using it Wi-Fi. Okay. But some people, for the solidity and because home networks can be busy areas, tend to prefer to plug in a cable.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not a portable device, so once placed, it tends to stay in the same position within the home anyway.
Okay.
The situation with music streaming is that there are normally 2 sources of music. So music can either be fetched from your local network, existing on a computer drive, existing on a network attached storage drive, a NAS drive as they're known, or in a high-end music server, also plugged in on the network. And then the alternative source of music is to go onto the World Wide Web and fetch it from an external server, which seems a little bit complicated, but these are the things that people are doing all the time. And these external network servers are named things like Spotify, Tidal, Qobuz, Deezer. There's a huge variety of them to choose from. In fact, I do believe that there's some 270 different music services available worldwide, and they're regionalised. So here in the UK, we have access to a group of them. Go to mainland China, they will have access to another group of them. So that's the ethos and the approach that's taken by the music streamer itself. So going back to the North collection, you have this facility there in the 681 music streamer. That's plugged into the integrated amplifier. But it could be that within a particular customer's requirement, they don't actually have a Moon amplifier to match with it, or they may have a pair of active loudspeakers. So in that situation, the 681 can be switched into preamp mode, which allows it to then control the volume. So rather than having the volume in control in a separate box, the volume is controlled within the music streamer itself.
And the mechanics of that, the volume's controlled via the app?
So there are numerous ways of controlling the volume. So the unit itself comes with a lovely Bluetooth remote control system. So this is known as the BRM. The BRM connects to any of the Moon North collection units that have volume control, utilising Bluetooth Connect. They all have dedicated Bluetooth receivers just for the remote control. So they don't share the Bluetooth receiver that's there for audio streaming, because all of these units also have Bluetooth Connect for audio streaming. So it has a dedicated control Bluetooth module there. So you can control the volume there. That volume control is bidirectional. So if it's changed on any of the Moon units, it sends the signal back to the remote control, which displays the volume. If you change it on here, it changes it on the device. Concurrently, if you have the control app, Moon Mind Control, Moon Mind Control can exist on iOS devices, but it can also exist on Android devices. The volume will also be sent to that device. So effectively, you can jump between app control, volume control from the remote, or volume control on the front panel, and they'll all talk to each other. And it's very fast reactive. And the reason it's very fast reactive is the control firmware is all held in the unit. So this essentially operates as, for want of a better description, a dumb device. So all of that is saying to this is the wheel is turning clockwise, the wheel is turning anti-clockwise. The processing is done inside the main unit, which means it's a very fast reaction. There's no lag, there's no delay, there's no waiting for a reconnection, if you like.
Yeah, makes sense.
So you have that universal control across all three levels of the system. So then what happens as you move up through the range? Well, so the first thing that's happened, and we'll kind of pause and step back from it a little bit, is we'll look at, and I'll use this word very precisely, the evolution of the product. Because for 20 plus years, Moon have been evolving their technologies. They've been working their way through the range of amplifiers, the range of digital source components, which started as CD players and has gradually moved to CD, from CD only to CD and music streaming, and now moving into music streaming only. But they've evolved things like their DAC topologies, their analog stages, their amplification stages. And the last major change that they made was in stylization of the product. They moved to this kind of broad stylization, very recognizable as a Moon product in our industry, with the two-tone format, etc., back as early as 2005. And then in 2011, they had the next stage of evolution product. And these products were known as evolution, because they were an evolvement of the technologies and so on and so forth. And a bit like a lot of other industries, there comes a point where you have to stop evolving and actually really step back and start inventing again. It's the biggest and most radical change that they've actually made in their 43-year history.
Hi there, it's Allan here from Linn, Glasgow. Linn is Scotland's premier hi-fi and home cinema retailer and installer. The purpose of this channel is to give you a little bit of insight into some of the behind the scenes of the hi-fi industry. We're interviewing some techs, some salespeople, and we're trying to find out some really interesting information about some of the brands we know and love. If you think this is the kind of thing that may be of interest to you, please like and subscribe.